Hello, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are and what time it is when you're catching this video. Thank you for watching. This case has me really worried and very confused. As a mother, I don't understand what's going on with this mother. So I'm going to play this news clip. There's a lot more information in the article, so I'm going to read some of that after this news update. This is the case on Madalina Cojocari. She went missing back in November, and the circumstances surrounding that are super, super strange. So I look forward to your comments on this one. I can't figure it out. I want to hear your theories. Here we go.
Tonight, new developments to share in the case of missing Cornelius girl, Madalina Cojocari.
Within the last few hours, a judge lowering the bond for Madalina's stepfather, Christopher Palmer, from $200,000 to $25,000. We thought that was interesting. So Palmer also pleading not guilty for failing to report Madalina's disappearance. Just earlier today, though, Madalina's mother, Diana Cojocari, also pleading not guilty on the same charge. You'll remember Madalina was last seen November 23rd getting off a school bus in Cornelius, but her parents did not tell police she was missing until December 15th. That was 3 weeks later.
WCNC Charlotte's Lexi Wilson was in court today as both parents faced a judge. Lexi is joining us now from outside the Mecklenburg County Courthouse. What happened today, Lexi?
It was tense in court today. Both parents pleaded not guilty to their charges, which means this case will head to trial as Madalina remains missing. Defense attorneys laying out their case why Christopher Palmer claims he did not know Madalina went missing. Prosecutors calling that ridiculous.
The idea that he could have been in his home for 3 weeks and not know that she was missing is laughable.
In the end, the judge gave Palmer a lower bond Thursday at $25,000 secured. He's charged with failure to report the disappearance of a child to law enforcement. His wife, Madalina's mom, Diana Cojocari, faces the same charge. Both pleaded not guilty to the charges. The state did not offer a plea deal to either of them. Madalina was last seen in November getting off this school bus. Today, we heard from Diana Cojocari's mother, Madalina's grandmother. With the help of a translator, she shared pictures with us and told us she believes Christopher Palmer is a criminal and that he sold Madalina. My Madalina is alive, and I hope the FBI and detectives find my granddaughter, and together with Diana and Madalina, will leave this country. I asked her if she had a message for Madalina. Through tears, she says that I love her very, very much. Madalina and Diana, I love them very much. And it is possible that Palmer could be bonded out of jail today. And if he does get out of jail, he will have to wear an ankle monitor. Reporting live at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse for WCNC Charlotte, I'm Lexi Wilson.
And we'll be watching for those updates.
Okay, but wait, there's more. First of all, though, did you hear that? Both parents had a $250,000 bond. Why? After the prosecutor said it's laughable that he had been back home for 3 weeks and didn't know that Madalina was missing, why did the judge then reduce his bond all the way down to $25,000? Why? There's something there that they know maybe that we don't know. I don't understand that. Nobody would ever get bond in a case where a 12-year-old child is just gone. And they really haven't acted like they cared at all. Y'all, after Madalina Cojocari went missing, her mom decorated the house for Christmas. They never even talked about Madalina. They literally just were like, I've used this reference before, acted like they just lost the remote. Hey, have you seen the remote? No, I haven't. Have you seen the remote? Nope, sure haven't. I guess it'll turn up. That's been basically their attitude about her going missing. And they didn't even report her missing until the school forced their hand when she didn't show up back for school after Thanksgiving break. They didn't, neither one of them raised any alarm bells about this child being missing. So why is he getting to bond out? And why is mother's bond not reduced as well? That's really strange. They know something that we don't, and it's probably in the redacted documents that we can't see yet. So let me read a little bit more from this article. The grandmother, I want to preface this by saying I don't know what's going on with the grandmother, but let's hear what she had to say. So she said she felt she knew what happened to Madalina. Madalina was 11 when she disappeared back in November. It wasn't until December 15th that they finally reported her missing. So, Madalina Cojocari is Diana's mother, so Madalina's maternal grandmother. She said, quote, "My granddaughter is alive, but she's been kidnapped," unquote. And then she said she believes her daughter, along with Madalina, were sold to traffickers for $5 million. Now, search warrants from March of this year showed that Diana Cojocari had, in fact, asked a distant relative if he would help with, quote, smuggling, unquote, her and Madalina away. She also told him she was in a bad relationship with her husband and wanted a divorce. Madalina Cojocari said, "Chris Palmiter is the instrument. He stalked them for 2 years. They had no documents in his home. He stole their documents and held them in the home like prisoners." However, if we go down a little bit further, here's where a lot of those documents were. So, listed in the inventory of items seized from Diana's car included a debit card belonging to Diana, Madalina's Romanian and Moldovan passports, Diana's Romanian passport, and miscellaneous education certificates and work documents, things of that nature. They were in her car. So after they found those things, then they reviewed phone records revealing, quote, extensive communication on December 2nd, 2022 with that relative. That person's phone records, and this is where it gets really interesting, that person's phone records showed multiple calls to phone numbers belonging to unidentified targets involved in ongoing T3 drug and narcotic trafficking investigations. What? They explained that T3 investigation involves the wiretap of a phone. So I think she's saying that he's involved with criminals, but what about her? She was talking with this person who's clearly involved in a major investigation. That's weird. So the warrant showed that drugs were not found in the car or house this time, but it's unclear if they were during other searches. That information was redacted from previous court documents, and I did have those up. By the way, I do have another video on this. I'm going to link it above. So it should pop up for you a couple of times in this video. On that one, I did a deep dive into mother, and it was really weird. So be sure to check that one out as well. It's more of a history. It was back when the little girl first went missing. And since then, the mother's social media accounts, you can't really access them anymore. But I got a few screenshots and stuff back then. So be sure to check that video out. So going on, She goes on to allege, and I say allege because I don't know if any of this is true. She said lately he would use narcotics to make them sleep, both Madalina and Diana. He used these narcotics in their juice. Diana and Madalina drank it, and he took Madalina out of the bedroom and gave her over to traffickers. I don't know to whom, unquote. How does she know any of this? Is this something that she's recently found out, or did she know all along? When did she tell the authorities this information? That's what I want to know. All right, so a little further down. Madalina, again, she was last seen publicly getting off of her school bus on November 21st, 2022. Her mother later told police she saw her daughter last on November 23rd, but she didn't report her missing for 3 weeks. Again, the school made them do it. They were going to report her missing. In fact, they were involved in the missing persons report. She was there at the school when they called authorities. So, let's see. When asked why it took so long, she told police she didn't want to start a conflict with her husband, but that 3-week period violates Kaylee's law. They were both arrested back on December 17th, 2022. Now, this is I don't know where she got this either, but she says, as for why Madalina has not been found alive yet, Madalina Cojocari believes Madalina had to undergo plastic surgery to disguise her appearance. I have no idea where she got that, but it sounds pretty far-fetched, in my opinion. So both Diana Cojocari and Christopher Palmer maintain they do not know what happened to Madalina. He says he doesn't know anything, but it's not true. Radhika Cojocari insisted. Our Madalina is alive, and Diana was warned that if you tell police anything, I will kill you. Chris knows who he sold our granddaughter to, but he is involved with criminals. Unquote. Both Diana Cojocari and Christopher Palmer pleaded not guilty in court on Thursday. Both of them will go to trial. Radhika Cojocari has a message for Madalina. I love her very, very, very much. So Cornelius police are asking anyone with information on Madalina's disappearance to please call detectives at 704-892-7773. I will put that number somewhere in the video and down in the description as well. So, again, go watch the previous video that I have on this. It'll give you the full history right after she went missing. Some information on mother and her, what she was saying back then versus now, which is pretty much the same as far as what she's saying. But you can see a little more information in that video too. So if there's any more updates, I'll let you know. But I do find it interesting. Tell me if you agree with this. Even though the DA got up there and said, or the prosecutor said, for him to not know that Madalina was missing for 3 weeks didn't make any sense, you know? Why, if both of their bonds were $250,000, why did the judge not lower the mother's bond, but she did lower his bond? Very strange. So again, I think there's something redacted that we don't know about, and we'll just have to wait till this goes to trial. I do pray that Madalina is found. I want her to be safe. Another thing in the previous video that I did, I hate to even say it because it just sounds so awful. Her mother burned a couch in the backyard for over a day. Like the police department went out there to check and see what was going on and everything. That happened right before they got arrested. So What was she burning? What evidence was she getting rid of? That's a long time. The neighbor said that it burned 24 hours a day. The whole 24 hours, I should say. So, yeah, I'm kind of wondering if mom didn't send her off somewhere, you know? But why burn the couch? That's a very scary thing to think about. I don't want to let my mind go that negative, but that just can't be a good sign for somebody to burn furniture like that. It leads you, kind of makes you wonder what happened on that couch. She felt she needed to completely burn it. All right, guys, I'll be watching for updates on this case, looking at the case file and seeing if there's any reduction in the mother's bond or if he is out, what's going on with the case as well. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button for me. I appreciate you. Thanks.